Well, good morning, community. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Stroke of Genius Show Survivor Experience. I've got a special guest for you today. Going to be sharing the stroke survival story. And remember, May is Stroke Awareness Month. So please share this video and help us raise stroke awareness. The person I'm going to meet is become a dear sister of mine. Her name is Maria Garcia. So let me bring her on camera here in just a minute and have you meet her. Hold on just a second.
Welcome to the Stroke of Genius Show, Survivor Experience. Now, here's your host, Aaron Avila.
Well, there she is. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning, Aaron.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. How are
You,
you doing?
you know I love you. So great to have you. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
I love you too. Hi, my name is Maria. I am a survivor since 2005. So I was 25 years old, and here I am today to tell you my story. And basically, in a nutshell, when I had the stroke, I was paralyzed from the eyes down. So I was also mute. I was paralyzed and mute. And it took me a long time to get back to this, but here I am.
Now, the amazing thing about you, Maria, one of the stroke survivors that you had your stroke at a very young age. How old did you say you were at the age in your stroke?
I was 25 years old.
What?
25.
25 years old, people. It's raising stroke awareness month. So I want to make that very clear. If you think stroke is only for people in their 80s, think again. Maria was 25, and then she's one of many I met over the years of serving the stroke community. I was 47. Now, Maria, what do you think was the reason for you cause your stroke?
The only risk factor at the time was birth control pills. I was what I uber healthy. I used to be a runner. I had a relatively good diet, and they say that was the only risk. They never said that was it, but they said that was the only risk.
Now, you don't, Maria, need not talk about this a bit in the green room. That if you're a woman and you're on birth control, you better think twice about it because the risk factor of your birth control causing stroke, I don't know what it is, but it's huge. Let's just say it was in the bathroom one time. I decided to read the pamphlet of my wife's birth control. It was microscopic print, probably about 3 pages long. It was warning. It's like one of those pills see on TV. Well, it's gonna cure your psoriasis because you have cancer. Well, when you take birth control, you may not get pregnant, but you run a high risk of getting a stroke. And Maria is a prime example of that. So, did you know, Maria, what stroke was before you had one?
Oh, absolutely not. Actually, I have a funny story about that because when I went to the hospital and they finally figured out what was going on, they said to me, "Ma'am, we think you're having a stroke." And my thought was, okay, what's a stroke? I had no idea what that was, even.
So, what were you doing when you had your stroke, Maria? What were you doing?
I was actually on the phone. I was on the
And
phone with a friend.
what were the symptoms? What told you that you were in trouble?
I began to say very strange things,
Mhm.
such as the red ocean is underneath the kitchen table. And then after I said it, I was like, what was that? I didn't even know. I couldn't get the words in my head to come out of my mouth straight. And then I realized, wait a minute, something is going on because I kept saying nonsensical things. And
So
then when I
did you
got,
call 911 or did your person who was talking to you on the phone call 911?
oh no, no, no. What happened is I managed to get off the phone somehow. And then I felt like somebody had hit me over the head with a cast iron pan. And I lied in bed in the fetal position. And then I had another friend who was at my house in the living room. He noticed something was happening. So he came over and he found me lying curled up in fetal position on my bed. He called my mom, and then between the both of them, they called 911.
So before, I'm curious, now we kind of came to that conclusion. Let me pause for just a minute because um, we've got Jamie. He is from England, by the way. He's watching us live from England right now. This is Jamie. He's here every show, pretty much. Pretty exciting. And then we have uh, we have Sherry Patterson and Falls. Feels right. Anyway, I'll pause a while. Feel free if you're out there watching. You have a question for me or myself. Feel free to put it in chat. I'll bring it up when every few minutes I'll pause and be able to chat. Thanks, Maria. Thank you. But when here you are on the phone, you start saying nonsensical things, which is part of face trooping, uh, speech. Your speech goes. Look at me, I'm so dog funny. I still talk Elmer Fudd now. But when I was like you, when I had my stroke, I was mute. I was mute for, I think 3 weeks after. So now I'm curious, did you at any point go, I can't be having a stroke and try to shake it off?
No, because I didn't even know what it was. I thought I was going to be in the hospital for 2 weeks, which ended up turning into 4 months.
So 4 months? Wow. So you were at your house, rushed to the hospital, local hospital, I'm assuming,
Mhm.
and the people around you, I'm assuming your mom was there. What was everybody's response to watching you go through a stroke at age 25?
They didn't even know what was going on, really, because stroke doesn't run in my family. So my family never really saw anything like that. And they were just uber concerned because they saw me deteriorating and deteriorating, and they couldn't understand why.
Yeah, I mean, Danny's got to think about that. I mean, my family did the same thing. I had a brain aneurysm, and 3 weeks later, while they come out of stroke. But I think, for Breezy Stroke Awareness Month, I think it's important, and I'm kind of gonna beat this topic up because I don't think birth control is is really brought on the forefront of everything's got to be 80 years old and you got to have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, whatever. So did you have any high blood pressure? Anything? No, no
No,
risk factors. So it was birth control.
none.
Um, so please tell me what your life was like before your stroke.
Before the stroke, I actually lived abroad for 2 years. I'd been living in Germany, and I finally came back. And it was 6 months after I got back that I had the stroke. So I'd just gotten a new job. I began my career, which was in finance, and I took the Series 7, which is an exam to become a stockbroker. So I was all set to do that. I was going up the ranks in my company really quickly.
Yeah, when you think about age 25, and this always broke my heart about serving the circuit media and seeing people like you. I lived my life. I lived a great life at age of 47, up to age 47, for but rug. pull up on my end of my feet with stroke. But you were 25 years old. You were just getting going, and that just breaks my heart to see that. And
Yeah.
you said your finance was your career, but you were gonna be in the store on the trading floor or what?
Yes. The company I was working for is a clearinghouse for Bank of New York, so they have their own trading floor.
Well, that's amazing. Now, I'm curious. During your battle that you've had a stroke, what is some of the deficits that you what is some of the hard times you fight as a stroke survivor? What have you found? Give me the one top thing as a stroke survivor, especially young stroke survivor. What do you battle with mostly?
Oh my gosh, that is such a difficult question because
I know.
what didn't I battle with? I had to wear diapers. That was a big one. Seeing the people look at me with pity in their eyes as my brother rolled me around in a wheelchair. That was awful.
Yeah, you didn't walk after your stroke. You didn't walk.
No,
But you're walking now. But so you said were you locked in? You said you're mute. So
yeah,
were you locked in your body?
I was locked in. Yeah,
How long were you locked in for?
I think it was something like 2 weeks, and then I began to move my index finger up about 1 inch.
I think probably I was the same way of being locked in. Anybody that doesn't know, being locked in your own body makes prison look pretty easy. I'll be honest with you. I don't know about you, Maria, but I was locked in. I was terrified, absolutely terrified.
Yes, I was desperate. I was terrified. I had no idea what was going on, if that was going to be my life from now on. It was intense.
Okay, I don't know this fight. Please understand you did not authorize. Who asked this question? I did not know. Because you see how it just says Facebook user. So what is your question? How long after stroke, Maria? What is your question for Maria? How long after stroke what? I don't know what that means. But put in your name because they don't know who you are. All right. Well, we'll see if they come on. I don't know if they'll come, but I'm curious how long we basically to a point where you couldn't function as an individual, either rely on your mom or your dad. How long did you spend like that?
For a very long time. I got out of my wheelchair when I got home, but only because the wheelchair didn't fit through any of my doorways. So that's when I graduated to using a walker. But I was still in diapers, and I still needed to be wheeled around outside. I would say overall it was probably over a good 2 years before I started doing things. 3 years maybe.
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, prime example, you can rebuild your life after stroke, and it's true. And that's a great segue to kind of talk about nutrition. Well, I'll bring you on again and talk about nutrition, but you use nutrition as a means of helping yourself rebuild your life, correct? You start rebuilding your body through health and nutrition.
I did. I did. And I wish I had known the things I know now back then when I first had the stroke, because I know I would have cut my recovery by at least half, and I wouldn't have had such an outcome that I did. But anyway, I found I started playing with my diet years after my stroke, And I was a pescatarian for a while. I was a vegetarian for a while. But it wasn't until 15 years after the initial stroke that I took a nutrition course, not thinking anything would change because I figured whatever, I already plateaued. I know a lot of things and nutrition can help, but I didn't realize what an impact it actually has. And I actually recovered another 20% 15 years after the stroke just by changing my diet, which is already good.
Yeah, you and I talked about that. And I want to try it. I definitely know the nutrition. I kept my weight down pat. Believe it or not, Maria, I'll be proud to tell you. I went to a physical like a couple weeks ago. A plus all across the board, blood pressure, oxygen. I get this. I'm in the wheelchair, been in a wheelchair for 13 years. I'm within 10 pounds of my high school weight. That's pretty good. But I think really the reason I say that partly is because nutrition, guys, food here. Again, whoever this is, please put your name. I don't know who this is. Yeah, it just says Facebook user. Food is medicine. Whoever just put that comment in chat, please let us know. But that's right along what you're saying, Maria. Food is medicine.
It is, and it isn't. And the reason I say it isn't because when you treat food as medicine, then you only change your diet when you're sick. But there's a diet that if we keep it, we don't even get sick in the first place, or we get less sick because you're helping your immune system.
Yeah, I mean, so listen, people, one, change your diet now. But if you need help with nutrition, get all of Maria. She is a, we have a website. Tell me about your website, Maria.
My website is genuinelymaria.com. That's GENUINELY Maria.com. And there, if you want to speak with me, you can just book a free discovery call.
Yeah, they say, I forget what the number is, like, it's like huge, like 60% of strokes are actually can be can be prevented by your diet, by your nutrition, by in your case, if you would have stopped taking your your pills. I mean, there you could prevent stroke. You really can. And
Yeah,
I,
I don't know what the numbers are, but
it's I know it's big. I wish I could do it by
I
now.
believe it.
Because someone out the audience, please Google what, how much can you reduce, how much risk or how much can you reduce your chance of stroke by your diet, by how much stroke could be prevented. Someone tell put that, look it up at Google, and put it in chat. I appreciate it. But we have this. Okay, now I know what the Facebook user is. I don't know if you know who Sherry Patterson is. She's in Niagara Falls. And I appreciate her putting it in there. She could sit there mine, talk to her almost every night, her and I. But, Maria, here you are, 25 years old. I mean, that had been catastrophic to be all wearing diapers, watching all your friends go forward and you're in diapers. You feel like you're going backwards. I had a stroke. I just can't imagine. Give me some of the emotions that you felt back then. Do you remember what that was like? How can you forget?
I was totally heartbroken. I was defeated. I felt worthless, desperate, so many things.
I think that word I felt wordless. I mean, we talked about that before the show, the agreement. I think every stroke's a buffer. Battles that little voice says, man, you're just taking up space, You're worthless. But it's not true. But I'm curious, what pulled you through out of that darkness into hope? Because at some point you went from feeling worthless, I was suicidal, but then you transitioned to a thriver. You went from a stroke survivor to a thriver. You said, I'm not letting this stroke define me. I'm going to get up. I'm going to rebuild my life as a stroke. I'm going to tell you, Maria, I'm going to tell you. Now, take a minute. I'm not a big advocate of the word stroke recovery. I don't believe it's a cold. I don't believe it's a broken bone. You don't recover from stroke. You have to rebuild your life at stroke. And notice the difference. The word recovery, effortless. It's natural. It happens. The word rebuild shows action. And you took action, Maria. And that's real life win. So what pulled you out of that darkness?
The thing I can pinpoint that made the cloud over my head start to dissipate would be I began yoga. I started doing yoga at my local gym, and I couldn't do all the moves, obviously, but yoga is very adaptable, and that's what started to lift the mental cloud. And then from there, I did many other things. I went back into school, and I just kept myself busy.
So you went back to school as a stroke survivor. So you studied finance, I'm assuming. What did you, or New Jersey?
No,
What
I
did
did
you,
something else actually.
what?
I studied finance initially. After the stroke, when I went back to school, I studied translation.
Really?
Hmm.
Now you mentioned earlier in the interview that you lived abroad in Germany.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of what was the reason for translation? Curious.
The reason for that was that I was born in Spain, so I'm fluent. And I figured, might as well do something I can do already and just get some more direction, more structure.
Yeah, because so many of us, so many people out there, let's stroke to find them. But I want to tell everybody here, look at me and I on camera. You cannot let stroke define who you are. Stroke is what's happened to you. It's not who you are. So stroke doesn't define you as a person. How you respond does. So if you respond curled up, isolated, withdrawn, wordless, negative talk, that's the life you'll lead. I tell you, you don't have to. So you look at Marie and I, put ourselves out here. Maria's living life, I'm living life, and it's a choice. It's not easy, is it, Maria?
It's not easy at all, but I can honestly say that I've gotten to a point in my life where I look back on what happened and I wouldn't take it back. I wouldn't take it back because I love the person I am today.
So you use stroke to make you a better person. I'll be honest with you. I am never done with moon today. So I too used to see stroke as positive. In fact, if you'd ask me, I may be what like you. Stroke and brain cancer was one of the two of the best things that ever happened to me because look, we have Kurt out there. I'll be guest dinner. Hold on, Maria. Oh, okay. Kurt, great deal. Thank you, Kurt. I'm not gonna pull up your message because it's big, bro. But here's thank you for tuning in, Kurt. Appreciate that. He's one of my friends on LinkedIn. He's professional. He's also a person involved in the disability channel. and they eat stirs up it too. But anyway, me what it goes by time goes by so quick.
Does.
We get down to the last few minutes of the show. What advice? Let's back up for a minute. What advice you said earlier? If I knew what they knew now, what they knew today, what's up? Knew them, what they knew today. What advice would you give that newest stroke survivor out there?
That is so broad, but the things that I would say is movement is super important. And I know that because when I was in the hospital and I couldn't move, it was my brother who came in every day and moved all my limbs for hours at a time. And I credit that for the reason that I'm so mobile today. So that's really important. Also, you want to hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. We really underestimate the importance of water. It's so important. And it makes such a difference to what your body can do.
You know, I know it sounds silly, but hydration, I would say, plagues 90% of the stroke community and non-stroke community people.
I agree.
How do we, since you're a nutritionist, how much water should we drink as people?
I would say about 6 to 8 glasses a day. And the size of the glass really depends on the size you are, right? So if you're taller, maybe drink bigger glasses. And if you're smaller, like me, drink smaller glasses.
Right. That's really great. So yeah, I want to make really clear. So go as we finish out the month and raising stroke awareness month is May. We got me here, age 25 had stroke. I am on age 47. These are both ages that are not 8 years old. When I had a stroke, I couldn't believe it. 47 years old, stroke. Age 25, she couldn't believe it. I guarantee you, talk about just your life changing the blink of an eye. But what again, me is raising stroke awareness month. So please share this video, share content, like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go out there and grab YouTube and look up stroke videos. Go onto Stroke TV Media YouTube channel. Grab a video you like, share with your people because you'll be raising stroke awareness in a big way. Maria, we're down the end of the show. I really appreciate it. Is really, really appreciate. Now, if people want to get hold of you, what is the best way to get hold of you?
The best way to get a hold of me is visit my website, genuinelymaria.com. GENUINELY, Mariette.com. And there you can book a call and let's have a chat.
And you're willing to talk to anybody about stroke or nutrition, correct?
Yes.
Really. I know your heart. You got to get you out there to help people. But me, I want to thank you so much for being out there and thank you for being on the show. Appreciate it. And I hope you really, really have a great time.
Aaron, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And thank you for watching.
All right. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Have a good day.